Hi everyone, it's time for another Punishing Grey Raven video. So in a couple of days, at the time of recording, Alpha's gonna disappear from this event banner, and I think Dark Watanabe will replace her. So some players, which are like the newer ones that will start right now, have no chance of actually getting Alpha, or have little to no chance, since they only have a couple of days to actually save up for her. And it's hard to build up to 60 for her pity. So another way to do this is to reroll, but some players may find it tedious because it takes about an hour to actually finish one session and actually get to the part where you unlock rerolling. So what I'm about to teach you guys is actually getting a 36.4% chance of actually getting alpha each time you do one session of rerolling. And this is not actually a made up number, and it's actually calculated, which I will actually show later for the people who like to look at numbers and stuff. The first step is knowing which banner to choose for rerolling. Now there are two banners for rolling. There's the event one and the special one. Now this is the banner to avoid when you're rerolling because the probability of getting an S rank construct is only 0.5%, which is actually very low. And since you're only doing a couple of summons, like around 6 or 7, it's best you avoid this banner at all costs when you're rerolling. So the right banner to choose is actually this one, the special event. So this one actually gives you a 1.5% chance of getting alpha per roll, and this is the perfect one to actually choose when you're rerolling. And before we proceed, you need at least a mid-range PC with at least 16 GB of RAM to actually perform this rerolling technique. Now for this trick to work, you will have to use an emulator, and for my case, I use BlueStacks because it allows the technique that I'm going to use, which is called Multi-Instance Manager. Just follow the steps and install it, and afterwards we can proceed with the next step. Now once you finish installing BlueStacks, you would be greeted by a screen like this once you open the app. Now on the right side of the application, you should see a sidebar and look for something called Multi-Instance Manager and click that. Once you open it, make sure to close the current instance that's currently running because we're gonna create a new instance. Now click New Instance, then click Fresh Instance. Make sure to click 64-bit. And now for the following options, I at least recommend having 2 GB of RAM available, and also make sure that you have enough screen resolution so that you can understand what's happening on the game. And of course, what you want to do is if your PC is kind of weak and cannot perform really well, then I suggest turning down the core count or at least the resolution. And afterwards, just create the instance. Now let's start the instance that's been newly created. Now what you want to do next is open Play Store so you can download Punishing Grey Raven on this new instance that you've created. Make sure to sign in. You can use any Gmail you want, like a dummy one if you want to. Now install Punishing Grey Raven. Once we're done, please do not open the app at all and just close the instance. Now this is the magic part. Now we can clone this same instance. Just click New Instance, then click Clone Instance, and you can create as many clones as you want as long as your hardware can handle it. In my case, I created 4 different clones, so that means 5 different instances running Punishing Grey Raven. Now for demonstration purposes, I only created 2 different clones, so 3 different instances running at the same time. So start all of those instances, and we should be good to go. Now once all the instances are open Punishing Grey Raven on all of those instances. Now on your main instance, please go to the sidebar and then check for sync operations. Now click sync operations and then sync the 2 instances or your however many instances you made with the main one. Now what this does is that all the other instances will mimic whatever you do on your main instance. For example, if you press the A button in your main instance, the other 4 or 2 instances or however many you made will also copy and mimic the same moves you made. Although there are times when other instances will deviate from your main one because some enemies will move differently depending on the AI. So don't be afraid to press the pause button on some of your instances, so make sure you can clear each one individually when it deviates too far. By the time you unlock the summoning system, you should at least have 1250 black cards available. Now this is the video clip of my summons on my first attempt on using this technique. Personally, I didn't do a reroll for my account at all. I just played with what the game gave me. I'm doing this because I wanted to give my friend an alpha because he wanted to play the game, but time was running out and he couldn't even get alpha if he tried. So I tried to look for ways to make reroll easier, and this is what I found. So there you go guys, that's an alpha. So the next part, I'll show you guys why it's 36.4% chance of getting an alpha per attempt. Now please do correct me if I'm wrong. Now if you follow the same setup as me and use 5 different instances to roll for alpha, then you would have 30 rolls on the special banner. That would at least lead to like 36.4% chance of getting alpha each run. So I think it's pretty decent, and I think we can conclude that at least re-rolling would be worth it using this strategy. Because at least you get to save so many black cards. Instead of reaching pity, which is 60 rolls, you get to at least have alpha directly at the start and save your black cards for future event weapons or banners or whatever. But please do note not to abuse this system because, of course, this is taxing to the server because you are running so many accounts at the same time. So whenever you get what you want, alpha or whatever it is, then make sure to stop already and be satisfied with what you have. And of course, if you like this content, please like and subscribe because I will be providing more video about punishing Graven. And thank you for watching.